In today's video tutorial, we're going to add a couple more effects to our photos, but we need to copy them from our date folder. So in 1984, we're going to go to the spin and we're going to select the fade out as well. And then we're going to copy, which is Command C on the keyboard. And you can see that it opened in that timeline as well. So we're going to go ahead and close the timeline dates folder and the layers group. So let's go down to VidPix where we want to place these, and we're going to just go ahead and paste them there. Now in your layers you can see that they don't quite make it all the way. So they kind of only do the timing of what it was before. So in order to get them the right size, we're going to just press a few keys. So Shift O, and that will take your timeline to the end of where VidPix 01 ends, and then just press the O on the keyboard for the out, and so it actually stretched out our spin and our fade in. Now both of these behaviors are the same duration as our VidPix one. In our timeline, we're going to shift click the top and bottom layers to select all the remaining photo layers that do not have the fade or the spin behaviors applied. And we're going to click the Add Behavior pop-up menu, choose Basic Motion Fade In, Fade Out, and the behavior is applied to all the selected layers and matches the length of each one. It would do so even if the layers had different durations. Because this is a new behavior, you need to modify it to match the others. So let's hold the shift button down, and now we have all of those pictures selected. So that was our shift click, the bottom layers. We're going to click the Add Behavior pop-up menu, and that would be this gear right over here. So we're going to go to our basic motion where those are found, and we're going to fade in, fade out. Oops. Make sure you have all of those layers selected. Then fade in, fade out. And now you have fade in, fade out for each one. And we also want to make sure we do that for the spin. So I'm going to go back to my Add Behaviors, Basic Motion, and Spin. So now I have those selected on each one. So we need to adjust each of our behaviors. So let's start with the fade in, fade out. So I'm going to hold the command button down and select each fade in, fade out in my timeline. And in the HUD or my inspector, either way, I can change what I want my fade in, fade out time to be. So I'm just going to take that and drag that side. We're going to make this 30 frames. And then we're going to take our fade out and make that 20. So now each picture should fade in and fade out as it's moving into our area. Next, we're going to add the spin behavior. So I'm going to click Command all the photo layers except the first to select the layers without selecting the behaviors applied to them, and add the Add Behavior pop-up, which we did, and select each one and change your spin up just like we did before. So on this one, we don't want all the spins to be the same. So this is why we need to possibly change them individually. So I'm going to pause that while I do the rest of these. So now I have finished with changing the spins up. And I'm going to go ahead and close the photos group. And I'm going to open up the graphics group. And again, I want to add the spin and the fade in to fade out to that. And let's go to the graphics and turn that on, and I'm going to turn the pictures off so you can see what it looks like. So again, we want to add those behaviors, and we could do it here, or we could go and copy and paste. For this one, it's pretty easy just to add it to the one that we need. And here, we're going to make this spin just a little bit right there. So then that slowly spins and then it fades out. Another thing that you could do, and it might be better on this one, is not the spin, but the grow shrink. So let's add grow shrink. And so in our HUD, we want this to grow out, and so you kind of see what it's doing, and then it'll fade out at the end. And we can change the angle maybe just a little bit to have it do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and save, Command S, and let's go to Shift Z to take our layers, our area back to there, so we can see the whole thing. And we also want to have Shift V so we don't see what's outside of this box. It kind of disappears. So we could see when we had the photos, we could see them outside of that range, but now we don't see what the photo is outside of our view area. So that is Shift V to turn it on or turn it off. So now we have a nice animation of the dates, the falling, and all that. Let's turn the dates back on as well, so we can see the dates as they're moving, falling, flying, spinning, as well as our photos and our graphic. So make any final adjustments you choose, and for example, you might want to increase the size of the dates or change the scale, and then maybe move their starting positions around. I kind of like it going from the middle, so that's just me. So that is the end of our photos opening animation. The next one we're going to go to is doing a different type of behavior called parameter behaviors. So I'll see you next tutorial.